Hey everybody, Dogbird here. Making a new videos series just for new players, beginners I should say. Anybody in the early game I would say, which is anything before DD2 in my opinion. So I did make a video yesterday, a bit long, a bit lengthy. Didn't go into depth enough into some things I think, so I'm just going to make different parts and go over certain little parts in each video. People can then pick and choose what they want if they even find these videos. Don't know. So anyway, we're here on my third account, more or less a Dolphin account. Spent around $70 on it total over the last 6 months, bringing this one up. Only level 74 yet. It does take forever to go from 70 to 75, then 75 to 80. And even to go from 60 to 70 takes quite a while. But this video is going to be going over the different, what to buy out of the different stores, the Gold Store, Blitz Store, Raid Store, Arena Store, and War Store. And a little bit about gold and core management. So let's just start with cores. You see I have some cores here. I never bought cores on this account, never had to. The offers I bought was the shield, the name shield characters, Captain America, Black Widow unlock, Hawkeye, Yo-Yo was in there. I think there's somebody else. Oh, Quake was the other person. And essentially that also gives you Iron Man right away, which you don't really use. You just to the bottom of your roster. It wasn't a bad buy for $25 back then. Other things I bought, a Kestrel offer and a Silver Surfer offer for obvious reasons. I will always say right now, if you have a chance to buy Silver Surfer and or Kestrel, and you're willing to spend money in this game, go ahead and buy those. Even just one, just to get them at 2 stars, or I think they both unlock at 2 stars actually. You build those characters up, and you pretty much win the arena in the game. But anyway. With cores, your main source of income, of course, will be out of the arena, of course, and you just want to kind of build these up as you go along. Only really use them for the energy refreshes. I only do the 50s. I do not spend cores on the ISO 8 energy at all. I just use whatever freebies I get from that. I use those little things up. And the time I spend cores, though, are on events such as right now the Sharon Carter event is running. I also buy the 50s in there because I have a nice little stockpile of cores, which this was about double what it was when the event started. I'm slowly dwindling it down. Once the event ends, I will get to recuperate that, and then the next patch will come out and they'll have another event, and it'll go back down. It's a constant cycle. But these events are really great for new players once you can actually do them, of course. Get as far as you can, though, just to get the event orbs, which this time is the Saboteur orb. But you see, if you look into it, there's a bunch of characters out here, and if you're a newer player, you're probably not going to have any of these characters. And some are even unfarmable, like right now, even for older players, like, Bishop's in here. Let's see who's unfarmable. I think Bishop and, of course, Sharon. Bishop's the only one that's unfarmable right now, untameable. But all these other characters would be great for a new player to get a hold of. I mean, you're not getting to Multiman anytime soon. Kitty is really not a priority, but, it's nice to pick it up. Ghost is War Store. You want to, save you some War Store credits. Same thing with Minerva, and these are 2 great characters you want. Loki, a necessary character for 2 unlocks, and Nebula is now great. Even Ronin you need eventually for Phoenix. Mystique you can use for Magneto. Zemo, great character, especially for newer game players. Drops off in the end game now, getting power creeped out. You can get some Venom, some Taskmaster shards. I mean, this is what this event has right now. Well, who knows what the future holds for the next event. Alright, as far as the gold store is concerned now, let's get into that. Things you want to buy. I'm actually going to buy some things right now. Purple materials for a player at my state. I have finished DD2. Purple materials is a big crunch for me still right now. Earlier, you'll have a blue material crunch. You can buy those out of the store. You'll notice that once you start building up, a couple hundred, it gets into 1,000. That's the time to stop buying them. that you've kind of gotten past the point in the game where the T2s are your crunch. You should be rating at least U6, U5 by then. You should be getting a steady supply of those, but the purples are going to start then becoming your next crunch. You don't have those as you get higher in the game. The other thing you want to buy is like these Tf13 Uniques, as long as you actually have the gold for it. I try to spend only around 1 million gold a day. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes I take a character up because I just want to get it done, or something like this comes up in the store. These ballistic weaves are used for both Emma and Mr. Sinister, and even Multiple Man if you want to do him. So you need a bunch of them. I'm going to buy them because eventually I'm going to need to bring up Mr. Sinister for Dark Dimension 3 and 4. And once I get Emma hopefully unlocked on this account, I'm going to want to bring her up for Dark Dimension 3 and 4 as well. So that's one of the things you need to plan out. And you always want to be buying those Tf13 Uniques that you need based on your plan for your characters for DD3 and DD4, and even a little bit in DD2. You only need 5 characters there. Just bring Silver Surfer though, and you'll pretty much be able to solo it. But you got to start planning this right from the beginning. Once you get access to this orange gear, I think it's right around 65 is when the orange gear, or maybe even 60 when the orange gear starts popping up. You want to get those Tf13 Uniques. Another great character is Gamora right now, and this is what she uses, the Superior Prometheum. I already have 50 of them. I already have her at Gear 13. In order to take her to Gear 15, I need 49. I have enough. I'm not really flushed with gold, so I can't really buy. I don't gonna buy that right now. Judas Bullets, I have 60 of those. I'm not really bringing anybody up to Dark Dimension with those, so I'm not going to use that. Superior Vibranium, if I decide to bring Shuri up, I can always do that at a later date after I get some more. When you're a little bit newer though too, you might want to consider some of these purple gear. I don't know how much more of a bottleneck that really is anymore for new players. Because the milestones have changed, but if you need the purple gear and it comes up and that's a character you're working on, go ahead and buy it. If you're low on blue gear, which is going to be a little bit of a crunch in the beginning, go ahead and buy that too if you have the gold for it. Of course, green gear if you need the green as well. One of the things about the purple gear that people haven't really talked about because of the milestone changes, you'll notice that the amount of these credits here have actually gone up. They used to be like 200, 300, 400, something like that. Now they're up like 650 in these milestones. If we even take a look at the high roll, they're up to 400 now. You're going to collect these, and these can be found in the Blitz Store under orbs. And so I'm collecting them because right now I don't know which one I'm going to need. I'm not really hitting a purple gear crunch. You will hit a purple gear crunch, so save them for whatever origin you need, or if you just need some catalysts. There's going to be bio gear crunches, there's going to be mutant gear crunches, skill gear. I mean, all these will eventually be crunched on whatever character you're working on at the time, and you'll need them. So just save them up until you need them, then open them, get the amount of gear you need, save the rest. This is also a good segue into the Blitz Store. What should we buy in the Blitz Store? Well, if you're just starting out, the first thing you want to buy is Gamora. You definitely want to get her unlocked at least to 3-star. She unlocks at 100 shards, so that's a 3-star unlock. You need to unlock her, get working on her. She is fabulous. She'll help you in the arena. If you buy Kestrel and Silver Surfer, pair her up with them, you'll do fantastic. She puts out a lot of damage. It's definitely a character you need to work on. After Gamora, after you get her unlocked, you're going to want to start either buying up Rhino or Electro. The reason why we want to get some Sinister 6 characters, they do unlock 2 legendaries. Granted, you might not really need them right away, but they're also the biggest thing, though, for the really early game when you're just beginning. They are villains. You need villains for the villains campaign. Feel free, if you have enough Blitz credits in the early game, also, if buy all 3 if you have enough Blitz credits for it at once. Depends on where you're at. Because honestly, these refills up here, you're not into war. By the time these become relevant where you can actually use them in war, where you have enough attacks, you'll have plenty of Blitz credits saved up. You'll be past the early beginner Blitz, which is a great way to get shards on new characters once you're below level 60. The problem with that, though, of course, with the beginner Blitz is you don't have Blitz Sim. You actually have to play the matches manually, or at least load them up and put them on auto. Kind of sucks, but it's kind of paying your dues for that. Okay, well, back a little off topic. So after you get Electro and Rhino, you want to get even one of those 2 up to 5 stars, maybe even both up to 5 stars, depending on how you decide to farm your Sinister Six. After that, you can just open up Blitz Orbs, and or go back to farming Gamora, get her all the way up to 7 stars, boost her power. She really is worth it. You might want to save some Blitz credits if you start getting into war and you have more attack teams, then you might want to start buying energy refills. That's why I keep around 5,000 Blitz credits on hand, even on this low account, just in case I need to buy some refills, because then you're transforming Blitz credits with refills if you can get guaranteed wins into war credits, which are much more rare than Blitz credits. Eventually, when you hit like level 80 and you're doing DD4, DD3, all that stuff, you're going to have thousands upon thousands of Blitz credits. You're just going to rack them up. And you can just open Blitz Orbs whenever you want, get a character that you want. You'll get random shards. And this was probably the easiest store to get characters out of. On to Raid. Now, Raid, of course, you want to get into a good alliance. Get out of that starter alliance as quick as you can. Get into an alliance where they're raiding. If you can get carried, get carried. I mean, if somebody wants to take you and just take you through U6, U7 when you're brand new, not even level 60, go ahead and do it. But you need to get those raid credits. You're not going to get many at first, but you do need to get them. And the first characters you're going to want to work to unlock, of course, you see I already bought her, Yo-Yo. So Yo-Yo is great because she does do that offense down, but she doesn't do that really until you get her up into around level 60 and get her passive up. But she is good. Eventually you can use her to help unlock Deputy Mole. So you want to start buying her, get her unlocked. She's a shield character also, so you can use her technically for Iron Man as well. It's up to you. Another character that's not in the store right now is Zemo. You definitely want to unlock him even over Yo-Yo. He's #1 priority. Get him unlocked, take him into the villains campaign, and just destroy everything. He is good in early arena. He strips buff away, and just give your opponent ability block and give him a hard time. You just want to get him unlocked. A character you want to buy and get up to 5 stars is Thor. You're probably starting out with Wave 1 Avengers in your arena anyway. Starring up Thor is great to help you out. You're going to get Thor for free, but you're going to need him for 5 stars in order to get Black Bolt. I mean, 6 months in on this account, I have unlocked Black Bolt already, so it's not, tomorrow thing, but, 6 months, you can have Black Bolt. So you might as well start getting Thor. After you get Thor, it's up to you then if you just want to open up Raid Orbs, if you want to save it, or you can also go for Ronin, getting him to 6 stars for Phoenix. The other thing is, though, once you get higher, you also get access to orange gear and to purple gear. Again, if you need the purple gear and you're working on somebody, you have enough credits, go ahead and buy it. But the other thing is the purple uniques are out here. You may run into that early on because you get those out of the purple Raid Orbs. You may not be flush with them. Once you get into U7, you will be. Blue gear, try not to buy, but if you're really crunched on it, you don't have any blue gear orbs, then go ahead. If you're okay with the raid credit, spending those raid credits, just know that they're valuable too. Not as valuable as war credits, but still pretty valuable. And eventually, you will get you'll get past the blue gear crunch. I'm way past it. As you see, I had to save my blue gear. Here are the purple raid gear orbs. I'm starting to save those again. Sometimes I get into a little purple crunch. I will open these before I open up these, just because these are random. You don't know what you're going to get. I don't consider them as valuable as the others where I can just pick and choose what I want. So let's just open them and get what I need. Of course, you have orange gear raid orbs. You can choose to hang on to them till you actually can equip orange gear. or you can just open them at will, doesn't matter. Orange Elite Orbs, I open those all the time. They have Tf13 Uniques. And of course you have the Gamma, Beta, and Alpha Raid Orbs. I mean, open those as quick as you want. Open them immediately. You know, you're getting characters that you might need, or could save you some more credits. Like in the Gamma Raid Orb, you got Sith there. You got Shadow Store, who's an arena store in the Arena Orb as of this video. It's actually a great way of getting Shadow Star for a new player is just the Gamma Raid Orbs, even though you don't get as many until you start moving up into the higher Gammas. On to the Arena Store. This store is actually pretty well packed with characters you need to unlock legendaries. Of course, the first ones I suggest is Swarm is my personal pick. The reason why, because Swarm is 500 and Vulture is still 500. Now, if Vulture drops down to 350 and Swarm is still 500, then I would say go after Vulture over Swarm just because of the cost. In an early game, you might not have too many raid credits depending on how you're doing in Arena. But with them being equal cost, Swarm's a better character. Farm him all the way up to 5 stars, or you can do Vulture all the way up to 5 stars. Your choice. But like I said, I prefer Swarm. After that, I actually suggest unlocking Juggernaut. He's only 350 arena credits now, so he makes it a lot easier. He is a Mystic. He will help you in the Mystic campaign, and you're going to need him later on for villain 7.3 through 7.6. He's very helpful in that, where you need villain Mystics. And once we get Juggernaut unlocked, we want to start working on our Asgardians again. We need to get Heimdall up to 5 stars, unfortunately. We may not use him, but we need him. So, unfortunate, but we do need to get him up there. After that, you can make a choice between going after, say, like a Crystal at 500, or going after somebody. You can also have Quake. You also need to get eventually at 350. Another person you need to get is Deadpool at 350. You need to get him up to 5 stars for Doc Ock in the future. The other person you can get is Blob for Magneto. That's one thing I forgot about Juggernaut. He also helps you unlock Magneto since he's part of the Brotherhood. The other one that helps you is Blob. I would suggest going for Juggernaut for 5 stars first because he is cheaper. You may get to the point though where you can go after Blob and get him as well. Just depending on how long you're willing to take for that. After that, none of these minions are really worth it. Just get them one day. If you care about Star-Lord, eventually maybe pick up some Drax. If you care about your Shadowlands team, you can pick up Daredevil. Eventually, Scarlet Witch, not used for anything. Mordo, you do need to eventually farm up to 6 stars for Phoenix, but that wouldn't be till after you get even Deadpool, Juggernaut, or Blob, Heimdall, Crystal, Vulture, Swarm, all up to the star levels you need. You're really not going to be buying Corvus Glaive if you don't have the Black Order. I would not suggest buying him until after you've unlocked Ebony Maw and actually have a full Black Order. And as far as these 975s, these are not for you. These aren't even really for endgame players. These are just things that people who are doing really well in Arena have nothing else better to do with their Arena credits do. I mean, I don't buy these, period. Just wait it out. Okay, the most valuable of all the stores, the War Store. A bunch of characters in here that we need to get. You want to get Mr. Sinister unlocked. You want to get Minerva unlocked. You want to get X-23 unlocked and eventually to 5 stars as well. You got to get Ghost up to 5 stars eventually too. Get her at least unlocked as well. She is a good Dark Dimension. Actually, any Dark Dimension she's great in. And of course, the other one we want to concentrate on getting to 5 stars as quick as possible is Sith. Even though we don't really use her too much, she is valuable. That's what you're pretty much going to be spending your early war credits on, is those characters, getting them unlocked, getting them started up. I mean, once you get them started up, if you don't mind putting the war credits into them, I mean, get more Mr. Sinister, more Minerva, get them started up, get them stronger, especially Mr. Sinister. Since the stronger he is, the stronger the clone will be. The other thing you might want to watch out for is the Tf13 Uniques again. Mostly for, like, again, characters you're taking to Dark Dimension. If you have the war credits, if there's not a character up and you're okay with doing that, yeah, go ahead and buy them. I bought the books, and I also buy the Alien Spores because of the symbiotes, which I'm going to need a ton of for DD3 and DD4 eventually. You see, I have 127 of them. I've been buying them every time I can. You even might want to look out for the 14s. You got to remember, you haven't really unlocked Doom campaign yet, where you have access to these 14s. So you might want to consider it, depending on your planning, who you're planning on taking, how quick you want to get into DD3, if you want to do that. So that pretty much wraps up the who to buy. So let's just